What's going on, my Central Unit Galaxy? Is the Central Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So, the Royal Rumble train is traveling back into the 1990s, so I'm reviewing WWF Royal Rumble 1997 at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas on the 19th of January 1997. The attendance for the show was 60,477, the highest record attendance in Royal Rumble history, and the buy rate for the show was 244,000 pay-per-view buys. Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. The reason why I'm reviewing this show because nearly 2 weeks ago I reviewed NWO Sold Out 97. That was the WCW pay-per-view. That was the week before, really the week after this show. Anyway, so the first match to kick off Royal Rumble of 97, we got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, with Mr. Hughes in his corner, defending the Intercontinental Championship against Goldust with Marlena in his corner. So they've been feuding in late 96. Triple H was, I'm going to call him Triple H. Triple H was stalking Goldust's manager, Marlena. Marlena is Terry Runnels. I think they were real life husband and wife. I don't know if they're still married to this day. Not 100% sure. Anyway, so that's really the build up to this match on this pay-per-view. Really, basically, Triple H is stalking Marlena, and they did like video package throughout the matches on the show. And also, the one segment on Raw building up to the match on the pay-per-view is basically Jerry the King Lawler called him a faggot. I think he's a faggot, or called him a queer, so that was in 1997. You know, you can't say faggot queer right now in today's day, because it's PG, a lot of people will get offended, anyway. So, the match was good. It was a good match, they worked together. It was a little bit physical. They were fighting outside the ring. One more of the match. Really, the bulk of the match you had Goldust working on the leg of Triple H because Triple H was going for like a knee strike. Goldust got away. Triple H whacked his knee really onto the barricade. And then Goldust working on the leg of Triple H. That's really our character. Because that's something like a heel will do, not a babyface. Because when the babyface entered the match with an injured arm or leg, the heels you were basically working on the injured body part. Or like one babyface wrestler will go for like a strike, whether it's a hand strike or a leg strike. They completely miss their opponent, they end up smacking their arm or leg into whether it's a barricade or a ring post. Anyway, so Mr. Hughes, he didn't get involved a lot, only a little bit. He played his role well. He distracted the referee. He thrown Triple H the Intercontinental Championship belt. Goldust hit the title belt onto Triple H. I thought that was the finish. Hughes managed to put Triple H's leg on the ropes in the last minute because that was a near fall. In the end, Triple H hit the pedigree onto Goldust to win this match and retain the Intercontinental Championship. I understand why they did that, just furthering up the rivalry between Goldust and Triple H. Triple H was really in a rise, because he's really starting winning. Because in 1996 he was in the doghouse because of the curtain call at Madison Square Garden. Because him, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon and Diesel are Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. They hugged, self-proclaimed break kayfabe, and the history, the story. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left the WWF and jumped ship to WCW. They're rivals at the time. Vince cannot punish Shawn Michaels because he was the WWF champion, and the pin and the blame is going towards Triple H. Instead of fighting Triple H, he has to eat piles of shit. He's not literally eating shit, but it's basically, he's end up like getting squashed match after match. And also, at this time, using this, transformation period for Triple H having different managers. Like, he's with Mr. Hughes. I think, like, one time he had Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, as his manager. And then all of a sudden, Hennig left the company to go to WCW. I think that one time, I think on a Raw, he had the Honky Tonk Man as Triple H's manager. I thought, like, Chyna would debut on this show. Unfortunately, she debuted at the following month's pay-per-view, the Final Four. So that really, it's really funny. It's planting the seeds of D-Generation X. Later on, 1997, in I think it was September or October, DX was formed. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chyna, and Ravishing Rick Rude. Anyway, the next match, we got Farouk, the leader of the Nation of Domination, with all his members of the Nation in his corner, taking on Ahmed Johnson. So the rivalry took place of the summer of 1996. Farouk, Ron Simmons' debut for the company. He was doing the whole gladiator gimmick, attacked Ahmed Johnson. So he proclaimed that the reason why he attacked him because he's not from the streets. So that's in there storyline-wise and kayfabe-wise, but in real life, Ahmed Johnson suffered, problems with his kidneys, so I think, I might be wrong about this. Think he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. I might be wrong, anyway, so Farouk ditched the gladiator gimmick, he formed the Nation of Domination. This is the first version of the group. The first version of the Nation of Domination, we got Farouk the leader. We got D'Lo Brown, who will be, part of the next two versions of the group. One with The Rock in it and one with Owen Hart in it. GC Ice, Clarence Mason, Wolfie D, and Crush. That was not that good. The first version was not so good. I'll talk about a little bit after this match. Anyway, so the match was okay. Wasn't a great match, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad match. It was really a thumb in the middle match. I think the reason why Ahmed Johnson never got like a better push in the WWF in his only run with the company, there's many reasons. Like, he always getting injured, he injured his opponents in the ring. And also, he's not that good in the ring. He's just very generic. He's, big for his size. He'd become massive. He'd become way bigger in WCW in the feud between Booker T and Stevie Ray in 2000. To be part of the new Holland Heat. Anyway, it was an okay match. In the end, all members of the Nation of Domination got involved. And Ahmed Johnson was in this Superman role, trying to beat down the Nation, going after the Nation. I think he put one member of the Nation through a table. I don't remember his finisher. It's basically like a pedigree. He's doing the same position as Triple H's pedigree and a powerbomb combo all in once. I don't know what it's called, so write it down in the comment section below. He put, I don't think it was D'Lo through a table, probably like Clancy Mason or JC Ice. Anyway, that is the crappy version of the group. It's really funny, funny fact. I think it was a week later they added Savio Vega to the group, and then later on in 1997, Farouk reformed a new version of the Nation of Domination. The kicks like Crush, Savio Vega, JC Ice, Clarence Mason, Wolfie D out of the group, and Ahmed Johnson, later on in 1997, he ended up joining the Nation of Domination alongside Karen Mustafa, that is, the future Godfather, and Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, and also with D'Lo Brown, who's been there from the very beginning. Anyway, so it's not the last time we'll see Ahmed and the Nation in this show. They compete at the 1997 Royal Rumble match. There was one segment after the next match. I'll talk about the next match a little bit shortly. Farouk called Ahmed Johnson a Uncle Tom. I'm not racist, folks. I know it's a racist slur, but I'm not racist because I'm a mixed race. My skin is a little bit darker. And very funny that WCW will do the same shit. This is at Spring Stampede in 1997, the same year. This is 2 months after the Royal Rumble. You had no, I think it was 3 months, but anyway, you had Booker T. I think there was an interview segment. You had Booker T calling Hulk Hogan the N word. It's very funny that they can get away this shit in the 90s compared to right now. You're not gonna see this shit in today's WWE, maybe in AEW or Impact Wrestling, but in today's WWE, you're not gonna see that shit because it's PG, PC, and a lot of people will get offended. We're in that type of era. So anyway, the next match we got The Undertaker versus Vader. So no story going into it because he was part of Undertaker's feud with Paul Bearer because Bearer turned on The Undertaker at SummerSlam of 1996, and they've been feuding ever since. Anyway, so the match it's similar to the previous match. It wasn't great, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad match. They had a better match at Canadian Stampede months later when Undertaker was the world champion. Paul Bearer showed up. Taker was going after Bearer. The referee, I think he got distracted. Bearer hit Undertaker with the urn. I think he put Taker back in the ring. Vader hit Taker with the Vader bomb to score the victory. It was a slow-paced match. And then afterwards, Undertaker got pissed off. He got pissed off. He chokeslammed the referee, gone after Vince. You kind of yell at Vince near the commentary area. Because everyone knows Vince is the owner, but at the same time, during this time period, he's not Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon yet. That'll be later on in late 97 and 1998 in the Attitude Era. He was an announcer. Basically Taker was showing at Vince, and he left. Yeah, the rivalry between Undertaker and Paul Bearer continued. It continued throughout the whole of 1997 and the whole of 1998. And in late 98, Paul Bearer turned on Kane, rejoined the Undertaker to form the Ministry of Darkness. The next match is the weakest match of the show. This is a random 6-man tag team match. We got Piero Aguayo, Hector Garza, and El Sanic taking on Fuerza Guerrera, Heavy Metal, and Jerry Estrada. The reason why they're doing this match on this show because at this time period, the WWF was in this working relationship with AAA. I think later on in 1997, they end up, WWF were also doing this working relationship with ECW, to plug their first pay-per-view, Very Legal. Anyway, another story for another time. Anyway, the match sucked. The wrestling was fine, but no one gives a shit about this match. The crowd was silent. You could tell WWF was feeling the pressure by WCW because they were getting better. They're beating WWF on a regular basis, in the ratings war. The stuff with the NWO and the Cruiserweight. So, WWF was copying WCW at this time period, trying to do their version, this working relationship with AAA. And, the difference between this match and the Cruiserweights, the Luchadors in WCW, because the Cruiserweights, the Luchadors in WCW, there were a lot of fast-paced, with the Rey Mysterios, the Juventud Guerreras, the Psychosis. In this match, it was slow-paced. They're not really fast-paced. I think some of these wrestlers were way past their prime. I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. In the end, I think it was that Aguayo, one of them did like a double front stomp off the top rope. This is like 20 years before, Finn Balor used the double front stumps. I know it's the coup de grace to win this match, and that was it. It was boring. I found out on Wikipedia it was 10 minutes. I feel like this is more than 10 minutes. I feel like this is nearly about 15 minutes, If they cut the time down to about, 5 minutes, it'll be better, but that's just me. Anyway, the next match, we got the 1997 Royal Rumble match. Winner face, Cycle Sid or Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 13. This is way better than the 2009 Royal Rumble match because I covered Royal Rumble 09 the last time. Because it tells good stories and it continued rivalries and started rivalries. That's the purpose of this match. It continued the rivalry between Ahmed Johnson and the Nation because Ahmed and Crush, who represent the Nation, started this match. Farouk got involved. Ahmed got himself eliminated, chasing Farouk. He came back minutes later, eliminated Farouk, threatened him with a 2x4, and chased him out of the ring. And Ahmed would end up joining with the Nation later on in 1997. It also continued the rivalry between Goldust and Triple H. Goldust eliminated Triple H in this match. And also, it started this mini feud between Bulldog and Owen Hart because they were a tag team. I think they're still part of Camp Cornette. I'm not too sure they were the tag team champions at the time period because they were the tag team champions in, I think they fought Vader and Mankind at WrestleMania that same year. Anyway, Owen, I think he was going to eliminate Austin, but instead he accidentally eliminated Bulldog. So this is the start of their mini rivalry between Owen and Bulldog. They fought for the European Championship on a Raw in Germany. Bulldog would become the first European champion. Anyway, so... And also, this Royal Rumble match is the Steve Austin Royal Rumble match. 97 and also in 1998. So he was the MVP and the Iron Man of this Royal Rumble match. I don't know what entry he entered. I think he entered like 7 or something. And he eliminated 10. He equaled Hulk Hogan's record of 10 eliminations in a Royal Rumble match. Yeah, it'd be broken by Kane in 2001. And then a couple of years later, nearly a decade later, with Roman Reigns, and then Brock. Never story, never time. So, Austin's face shocked. I never seen Austin with a shocked face when Bret Hart entered the Royal Rumble match. He entered at number 21. And then you got Terry Funk showing up. He ended up leaving the company to go to ECW. Yeah, he came back as Chainsaw Charlie. You had this, this is the controversial, and this is a good controversial. Basically, you had, this, really a brawl between Mankind and Terry Funk, their history, Terry Funk and Mick Foley, because they feuded in ECW, they've been feuding in Japan when Mick Foley was Cactus Jack. The referees was focused on the brawl between Terry Funk and Mankind. Bret eliminated Austin, and Austin came back. Eliminated, the fake Razor and the fake Diesel. The fake Razor is, I think it used to be the fake Undertaker in Undertaker's feud with Ted DiBiase. That was like in 1994. In that match at SummerSlam, Undertaker versus Undertaker. I might be wrong. And also, fake Diesel is very funny. Like later on in 1997 at Bad Blood, he become Kane. This match, you had some stars who really carried the rest of the decade, and also become stars of the Attitude Era. Austin, Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Vader, Mankind. Bret's not really part of the Attitude Era. He was part of the last year of the New Generation Era. That was a month before the start of the Attitude Era. But anyway, so like I said, I'm talking about the ending actually. So. Austin eliminated both, Vader, Taker, and also Bret eliminated the fake Diesel. Austin eliminated Bret Hart to win this match. First of 3, because he won the following year's one in 1998, and he won the third one in 2001. I'll talk about the aftermath later on in this review. Bret Hart got pissed off. He took his frustration on the referee. He took his frustration on Vince McMahon because, like I said, he's still the announcer at the time. That's in kayfabe wise, but backstage he was the owner. So I think Bret's frustration is planting the seeds of Bret turning heel. He turned heel in the spring of 1997 to form the Hart Foundation with him, Owen, Bulldog, Neidhart, and Pillman. Moving on to the main event, we got Psycho Sid defending the WWF Championship against the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. This is the rematch from Survivor Series 1996. Sid defeats Shawn for the title at Madison Square Garden. They got some history between Shawn and Sid because Sid used to be Shawn's bodyguard. Sid turned his back on Shawn. Shawn was still a heel. Anyway, you got Jose Livario in Shawn Michaels' corner. I done my research that Jose Livario was a former professional wrestler. I thought he was a boxer, but instead he was a professional wrestler. He trained Shawn to prepare for his match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match. He showed up at In Your House 10, the Mind Game show, in September of that year. And also he showed up in this show. He showed up in 1999 when Shawn was, I think he was still the commissioner at the time. You know, another story for another time. Anyway, match of the night. Sid is never always a great wrestler, but if he faced someone half his size, he can really pull up some good, decent matches, you know, against the Bret Harts, against the Shawn Michaels, because they're half their size, you know. You know, the agility, the fast pace, you know, Sid is basically picking stuff up and putting it down, you know. Shawn, you know, he's basically the, fast-paced guy. So some moments of the match, Sid basically rammed Shawn in the back with the ring post. And also he hit Shawn with the powerbomb onto the ring floor. You're not going to see that in today's WWE, you know, have someone like basically powerbomb or power driving the opponents into the floor because concussions, you know. Anyway, so the ending was good. There was a referee bump. Shawn trying to hit Sid in the back with the camera. Yeah, he got kicked out with a camera shot. In the end, Shawn hit the switching music onto Sid to win this match and become a two-time WWF champion. It was good. It was a right choice to have this match in the main event because Shawn Michaels is the hometown boy. This was in the Alamo Dome. To see Shawn leaving the Alamo Dome as the WWF champion was sweet. The fans were erupted. I think like one more of the match, basically they cut scene to, I think it was Shawn's parents in the near the crowd. You know, it was really good. Unfortunately, this victory was really stopped in a halt because a month later, on an episode of Thursday Night Raw, Shawn basically vacated the title. He did the Lost My Smile promo because he suffered a knee injury. And here's the kicker. Shawn showed up at WrestleMania 13. He was paid. He showed up in the commentary, part of the main event between Sid versus Taker for the WWF Championship. You know, the stories that Shawn doesn't want to do. There were plans to do, the WrestleMania 12 rematch at WrestleMania 13 between Shawn versus Bret. You know, Bret will get his win back. Fortunately, Shawn declined it because he doesn't want to do the job to Bret, fake the knee injury. So they, Shawn figured the title. They did the Fatal 4-Way match at Fatal 4-Way to crown a new world champion. That'll be, Bret, Austin, Vader, and Taker. Bret will win the title for, I'm guessing, for the 4th time. And then the night after Fatal 4-Way, I think it was a steel cage match, I think. You had, Sid defeat Bret to win his 3rd and final WWF Championship. And, the whole build to WrestleMania 13 was a total clusterfuck. It's basically their hot potato in the title. And you had a boring main event at WrestleMania 13 between Sid versus The Undertaker. That's got to be one of the worst matches of the streak. If I was booking this, the main event of WrestleMania 13, I wish they did Bret versus Austin for the championship. I understand why Austin never got a title shot to face the champion at WrestleMania because Austin was not quite that ready yet. He's still new. And, he ended up challenging Taker for the championship at Revenge of the Taker I think it was at the main pay-per-view. Having Austin chasing after the title, not winning the title. He won his first title at WrestleMania 14 in 1998. So, yeah, if I review WrestleMania 13, I will do it in the future, but anyway, so my final rating for Royal Rumble 1997, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, It's back and forth between 7.5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. It's one or the other. So, the good was the good. The only bad on the show has to be the 6-man tag team match with the Mexican wrestlers. That was boring, just a piss break match. The okay was the okay, like Ahmed Johnson versus Farouk and Undertaker versus Vader. The good was the good. You got the main event was good. You know, Sid versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. Triple H versus Goldust for the IC title. Yeah, it's furthering up the rivalry. And also the 1997 Royal Rumble match. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my review of Royal Rumble 97. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Next time, yeah, still keeping this Royal Rumble train going. We'll be entering the last week of January. Last year I reviewed WrestleMania 21. And a couple weeks ago, last month, I reviewed New Year's Resolution 2005. So, fuck it, let's review Royal Rumble 2005. This is memorable for Batista winning this Royal Rumble match.